Good morning. I guess you can call this the homecoming day vlog. It's our first inaugural season as the Fredericksburg Outlawz, and it's my first year as vice president and head coach of the organization. It's been an interesting year, to say the least, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world because it's what I want to do. I enjoy teaching young men the game of football. I enjoy, watching them have fun and the maturity and maturation, of them growing up and seeing the joys of the game of football. And what gets lost, sometimes is the hard work that not only the players put in, but the coaching staff puts in. Because we don't get, of course, coaching youth travel league football. You don't get paid for this. This is something you do. You volunteer out of your time. 6, 8, 10 hours out of a week. To help these young men pursue their passion and their dream. And what gets lost in the shuffle and translation of everything is that coaches, we have lives outside of coaching. We have lives outside of helping your sons or your daughters do what they want to do. We have our own personal things going on off the field, or off the court, or off to cheerleading competitions and stuff like that. We have lives after that, and so we have to put, for those few hours, we put our lives on hold to help your child do what they want to do. And everybody wants to see the finished product, and that's the society we live in. Everybody wants, like, it's instant grits or something. Everybody wants let's say that instant gratification. They want to see the end result immediately, and that's not going to be the case. It takes time, especially when you got first year players. It takes time for everything to to gel like it's supposed to. It takes time for them to flip that switch on and say, oh, hey, this is what I need to be doing. Because you can teach a young man or you can teach a young lady all that they need to know about the game, but if their heart's not into it, then they're not really going to go out there and produce. You can spend hours and hours and hours beating on the craft, but if they're not going to put in that time, then it really doesn't matter. Like I said, we can stand out there for hours and hours teaching your child this sport, but at the end of the day, it's up to them to decide, okay, this is what I want to do. I have to take this seriously. Too many people think that, okay, because we come to practice for a few hours, my child should be doing this or my child should be doing that, and that's not the case. Your child can come to practice for 4 or 5 hours, but if it's not registering and their heart's not into it, then you're not really going to get that result that you're looking for. You're going to get something, but it's not exactly going to be what you're looking for. They might be out there, but if your heart's not into it, then you're just out there just to please the parent. The kids sometimes are out there just to please their parent. And as we all know, in AAU football, or travel league football, or travel league basketball, baseball, soccer, cheerleading, whatever you're doing, these are kids that really, really want to do this. Like, they want to be out there, 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? And kids that don't want to do that, they're usually playing, like Parks and Rec football or something, or basketball, or cheerleading, soccer, whatever. But, this was just one of those, people have to understand, like, it's a long growing process. It's a long process. And some kids get it early, some kids don't. Some kids have that want to, at an early age. They're like, okay, this is what I love to do. Some people have that genetics. Okay, well, look, I know I can play this sport. and this is what I love to do. And some kids, it takes a minute for it to click. But when it clicks, either they're gonna be like, okay, I don't want to do this, or I love doing this. And for a game such as football, you can't be halfway in, halfway out. You know what I'm saying? Kids can't be like, okay, well, I want to do this, or no, I don't want to do this, or I'm only out here because, my parents are making me be out here. You cannot come to practice and expect your kid to be an all-star, on the field. You can't do that. You can't expect your kid, to not have the great morals and work ethics at home. And when it comes on the football field, they're supposed to turn on and turn into this monster. Half the stuff that our kids maturate out on the field is stuff that, is being learned at home. It's stuff that, it's that work ethic, that's being taught at home. It's the manners, it's the respect, that's being taught at home. Yes, coaches are an extension of a parent at home. A good coach is an extension of a parent at home, but a coach can also be a bad extension of a certain household. And some of these kids are using these sports as a way out, out of a bad situation, a bad neighborhood. Something might be going on at home, and they're using football or soccer, cheerleading, basketball, baseball, whatever, as their way out. And so they're grinding, no matter what's going on. It's those kids that say, okay, I'm going to put this video game down, or, I put this down nowadays. I'm going to put this video game down. I'm going to go outside in the yard. I'm going to play toss, I'm going to set up cone drills, or, I'm going to, get up that extra shot, or I'm going to work on this chair. And it's the kids like that you can see that have that desire and passion, to get better at their craft. It's like they say, talent to some kids come naturally, but to be great at it, it takes hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft to be very functional and great at, at what you do. So we have to instill in these kids in this generation that, yes, you might have talent, but there's somebody in another county, another state, another country maybe even, that's working just as hard as you do, because they don't have the amenities and the privileges that, a lot of these kids have, and they want it more. And, and like I said, they said this is their way out, but, that was just something, to inform people that, this journey is not the easiest one, coaching and, doing travel league ball, but it's something that, when you accept it and you go into it, a lot of times you got to put feelings aside, because everybody's not going to like what you do. Everybody's not going to accept what you do. You're going to have parents that, don't like what you're doing because, they might see their child, blossoming or having fun with you that they're not doing at home. You have parents that, are not always going to be happy no matter what goes on. They can see what you're working with, but they still expect a different result. Everything doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're teaching first year kids. Like I said, we get first years are always rough. They just are. First years are rough in any new organization, especially when you don't have, the numbers that, you're hoping for. So, but we don't make excuses. We go out there and we work with what we got. And, no coach is perfect. Every coach makes mistakes. And I've never met a coach that said, well, I designed this play to fail. Nobody designs a play to fail. Every play that you call, when you're drawing it up with offense, defense, special teams, you're designing to be successful. You're designing it in your head to say, okay, if I do this or this, this play will work. If this player blocks this way, if I'm teaching them how to do this way, then the play will work. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just, it's crazy to think that some parents are like, oh God, that they'll throw that play out. That play doesn't work. The play didn't work because the kids or the player on the field didn't execute it properly. That's why the play didn't work. Or the defense just had a better scheme going against that play. The defense called the perfect scheme to go, to counteract what you were doing. But anything that's going on, especially in travel league football, it starts, like my coach said perfectly, and everybody knows that, it starts up front. If you don't have the offensive defensive lineman up front, then it doesn't matter what's going on. Because if they're not blocking, then nobody's getting anywhere. We all know it starts up front. Yes, we got the pretty boys in the backfield. You got your quarterbacks, your running backs, your wide receivers, or whatever. But if your front five or front six with your tight end are not blocking, it does not matter what you are doing. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to get to throw pass plays that you have designed up are not going to work because you don't have time to throw the ball. You really do not have time to throw the ball. So, that front five is very important. The front four, if you run a 4-3 on defense, 3-4, 4-4, whatever you're doing on defense, that front five is very important to the success, of your team. And yes, it's a passing league. Everybody likes to pass and fancy stuff. But again, if you don't have the blocking for it, it's not really going to work. So today is our homecoming game. It's the first year Fredericksburg Outlawz. It's our first homecoming game, and I'm excited about it. I've been up since early this morning, just thinking about everything, thinking about ways to get everybody involved. And I think that's what a lot of parents don't understand is, oh, my kid's not getting involved. There are many plays I have designed to get your child the ball, but we can't get them the ball because we don't have the blocking, and so our quarterbacks are running for their lives. And I know I'm not the only coach that's like, okay, we have plays designed, but we cannot get your child the ball because my quarterback is running for his life, or my running back can't even get the handoff without getting hit. There are plays called, and then you have to adjust, and sometimes you got to put kids at a position that they're not the most comfortable playing. But at this age, especially at the age group that I coach 9U. Kids are not always going to be in the position that they prefer to be in, but you have to make that certain sacrifice for the team. If we have a better athlete at your position, you have to go play something else because you can still be his backup, and you're going to still get some burn, but you might not be playing the position that you desire to play, which at this age group is not the worst thing in the world. And, I know some people, oh, he doesn't want to play this position. Oh, okay. Well, that's not really an option right now at this point.